How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with something not different, but something I haven't done in a while. I'm talking about Fate Grand Order, right? You know, this mobile game I've been playing for like honestly over a year now, and I'm here to talk about a story segment in it called Lostbelt 1, Anastasia, and the prologue to it. Because there's multiple parts to the story, right? There's part one with singularities, or main record one, as they refer to it, with stuff like Fuyuki, Orleans, Septum, Oceanus, London, E Pluribus Unum, or America, Camelot, Babylonia, and then the final part, Solomon. Then the in between main record 1 and main record 2 is main record 1.5, with sub-singularities or pseudo-singularities called Shinjuku, Agartha, Shimosa, and Salem. And then the main or the story segment that we're on right now, most currently in like the US version, is main record 2 with stuff like Anastasia, Go to Damarong, and the rest of them because I haven't gotten to the rest of them. And the Japanese one, they're still on main record 2, but they're getting closer to the final or the finale of it, from what I heard. And as of right now, I'm still in the very beginning of it. And I finished Anastasia like literally actually a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to do a video on it when my mind was so fresh on it, but I forgot to. But I've been meaning to. It's just I keep forgetting to do it. But I'm here doing it now, right? And let me start with the prologue first, right? So this is after. Oh, spoilers! Oh my goodness, spoilers! Before I got into anything spoilery, like I'm going to go heavy into spoilers. Like if you do not want to see this, do not watch it. Or at least like play it for yourself before watching it if you're interested in it. But regardless, right? So this is after the main singularities were done with. Solomon was defeated, the main bad guy. Uh, what's this dude's name? Romani, dead. Mash almost died, but now she's not a servant anymore because Galahad was some business with him. I don't even know, like, and yeah, after that, the pseudo singularities happen, which are canon. They are canon. It's just they aren't mentioned much. So it's been a year, basically. It's been a year. Chaldea has been, trying to find new management and all that, and the clock tower found somebody from Fate Apocrypha, or at least their son. And all that's going on. There's like people getting filtered in and out. Old management is getting replaced with new management from the clock tower. Basically, Chaldea is money. And since they can't prove that they went through the singularities, money is bound to come from it. And the old management can't stay because it's, for what they see, they see it as a criminal organization. And so it's basically main character, MASH, Holmes, or Sherlock Holmes, excuse me, and Leonardo da Vinci as a girl. Don't ask why. And so all that's going on. Long and short of it, the people that came with the clock tower betrayed them. Like it was like a coup from inside the clock tower with Konyaskaya, somebody there, guy named Kire, or well, who looks like Kire from the main actual like Fate Stay Night, and somebody named Anastasia who isn't a part of their group, but she'll come into play later. So basically, they destroy Chaldea, and what's it called? Next thing they know, they travel to a land made of pure snow. I'm skipping a lot of it, but just also because of my memory, and I'm just trying to get through it, right? And so basically, it's main character, Mash, Holmes, Da Vinci, some members from the faculty that didn't die, and the leader who was supposed to replace what Romani used to be, who, boy, I don't even remember his name, honestly. Like, uh, let me see. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember. I do not. Yeah, I do not remember. But yeah, the new leader is there as well. um, Da Vinci dies, but comes back as a lolly because she had a like us. She prepared for this. If she were to die, she would come back as a child. Some weird stuff. I don't know. Her memories got transplanted, so it's not like she's learning again. But it's not the same Da Vinci. It's not. And they end up in what's it called? Russia. 3 months after the catastrophe, nah, the events. Excuse me. Of what happened in Chaldea. And this leads into Anastasia Lostbelt 1. And Lost Belts are basically they're whole different worlds, right? So singularities are moments in time, like in the correct timeline of history, or not correct, but more like our timeline in history. And singularities are basically divots in it, or like things that are diverging from the main timeline. So an example of it is in America, but instead of like not the Civil War, or I guess the Civil War. When did where is it? Um when did it take place? What time? Okay, so it took place 1783. So basically the War for Independence, right? Or a little bit after that. Imagine if instead of Thomas Jefferson, I think that was Thomas Jefferson. He's a lion. He's literally like a mechanical lion. Uh, Celtics are in America now, and for some reason, people like Karna, Arjuna, uh, Ram, and a bunch of other weird people are there for some reason. And instead of it being U.S. against Britain, or yeah, the Great Britain, excuse me, it's the U.S. versus Celtic Warriors and Cuchulainn for some reason. Like it's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that at all. So singularities are just weird points in time where something weird happens, and Chaldea needs to go and fix it. Pseudo singularities are the same thing. They're just smaller on a smaller scale. And lost belts are different because they're not correct human history. They're different timelines basically. Like something in history went wrong, so wrong that like it was a singularity, but the singularity already happened, so it changed the world forever, and now it's a different world entirely. And Anastasia is a good example of it because it's 2020. Like literally, it's the same. It's 3 months after the events of Chaldea. Like it's not in the past. It's in the present, at least for us. But the main difference is the world is in perpetual snow. Like it's always snowing. It's always cold. It's brick cold in this world. And so another thing in it is that there aren't any humans, or yeah, there aren't any humans. There are only wolf people, basically, wolfkin, and that's the way that they had to survive. They had to like, what's it called? They had to grow and evolve, use magic to become this race that could survive in this weather. And to be honest with you, the world sucks. It's not a good world to live in. Like it's the only the strong survive type of mindset in this world. So if you're sick, if you're young but you're not strong, or like if you're old, you're you're basically outcasted and, for lack of better words, killed if you're not strong. And so we get there, we see all this. We meet a wolf called Paxi. He's pretty cool, but he also shares his mindset, but in like a little weirder way. He knows it's wrong, but he has to live by it because it's the only way to live. And so we're seeing on this and we're like, alright, we have to fix this somehow. But this is a whole nother world. This isn't like this isn't supposed to happen. This is more like this is a world that we have to stop from existing because our world is in danger. It's a morally gray ground. Like, do we sacrifice our world so they can live? Or do do we kill them, basically, in a sense. And oh, the reason why there's so many, or well, there's 7 Lost Belts, right? And the reason why is because the original people that were supposed to go on the the singularity like chase to stop Solomon, the cryptors were 7 people, and basically an event happened in the beginning of the game where they literally all died because of what's it called, or almost all died because of an event going on by Levliner who caused all the machinery to malfunction and almost killed them. The main character shows up as like a stand-in and he's like, "Yo, let me save Mash real quick." And the next thing you know, he does the first half of the game. And a lot of them are jealous. Some of them envy him. Some of them hate him. Others, who knows? But they came back because they put him in cryostasis or cryosleep. And next thing you know, they're kings and queens of their Lost Belts because of some nonsense going on. And basically, this is Russia. It's not a good Russia, but it's Russia. It's not our Russia, but it's Russia. And I forgot. Alright, so the leader of this entire race is Ivan the Terrible, the first like wolfkin who mixed himself with these people to survive. He's strong. He's like ridiculously strong. It's insane how strong he is. And over time we build up our group. Paxi comes with us, seeing all this because he has nowhere to go anymore. He took care of us for a little bit, but because of Ivan the Terrible's like militia or not militia, army with the Opriniki or something like that. It's such a weird name. Like since it's Russian, I can't really pronounce it well. I don't know how to pronounce it, but his army basically of like men in black cloaks with plague doctor masks. There you go. They're terrifying, but they're also his noble phantasm. So once he wakes, they're gone. And over time, Paxi comes with us. We go to the Revolutionary Army, who's led by Adelante Alter, and we also go see Billy the Kid and Beowulf. Pretty sick, pretty sick. We also meet Miyamoto Musashi, who isn't a part of the Lost Belt. More like they show up because they're a void traveler. Like they're like race shifting basically, like how we are, but a little different. They don't have a choice where they race shift. We do. And so yeah, after that, we also meet Soleri, who was actually working for the enemy, but came with us. And their one goal is to kill uh, Mozart. And what's it called? Who else joins? Who else? I don't think there's any more servants. I think it's literally just them. Mash can't fight because of her servant stuff and all that messing up. Galahad not coming to her aid. She's every time she transforms, she's dying basically, and so she can't fight. And they're planning on bringing her back, but in their own way by doing something else. So as we travel through, we get to like the end of it where Musashi, Beowulf, and who else? Who else? Who else? Okay, Musashi and Beowulf are in the capital fighting. What's it called? What's his dude's name? Ivan the Terrible. While Soleri's up top playing music to distract them and basically like kind of mess with him. Billy the Kid's fighting off all these things. It's crazy. He turned saucy out of nowhere. He was doing the nastiest of stuff. And who was it? Where? Okay, now I remember. Now I remember. Oh, that's just 16. Okay, so they're fighting basically, and oh my gosh, I forgot that this dude was there. Um, Avris Braun. There you go, Avris Braun. He's also there. That's the guy I was forgetting about. He's a golem maker, right? And he was actually in Apocrypha, but he was evil. Here he's more on our side, but not evil. Just like more neutral, but on our side, basically. And so he Avris Braun as a final thing. before he gets blasted and killed, he makes a giant golem for us to pilot to fight Ivan the Terrible, because this dude is insane. Like, he does not want this world to end, even though he knows it should. He doesn't want it to, because this is their way of life. You know, like, it's not a good way of life, but it's theirs. And so he's fighting tooth and nail because Anastasia, who actually is a person, is what's it called? He's in love with her. It's a bunch of Russian old, like, history, which I don't think is real, or at least like some of it isn't. Like, it's made for the story. And what's it called? Anastasia works for the cryptor of this Lost Belt. I forgot their name. They're like the main character, but more like self-deprecating. I guess that's the word. They don't have a lot of self-esteem, but by any means they want to win the war between all the cryptors who want to have the last Lost Belt or Lost Belt remaining, like the king, or not king, their last Lost Belt remaining. And so, what's it called? They're fighting. It's brawlic. It's actually so sick. Like, the in the game, it was so dope. And oh my goodness, excuse me. Basically, Musashi does this. She does her noble phantasm, and Musashi's a girl in this, by the way. Don't ask why. There is a lore reason for it, unlike Da Vinci, who's just a girl because they want it to be. Musashi is a girl for a reason, and it's explained in Shimosa. But what's it called? She does something brawlic. She disappears, and this basically helps us defeat Ivan, or at least like get him weak enough so we can handle it. And basically, Musashi, Avis, Braun are gone. Billy's still fighting. Beowulf is still fighting. Solari's doing his nonsense over there, like literally getting brawlic. And we're over here. Mash is helping us because now she can fight because Da Vinci was helping her make something that could help her fight as a servant once again. And the fight, man, oh, the fight was so cool. Like, I enjoyed this Lost Boat so much, and I'll explain later why. But basically, Ivan the Terrible, he was in his giant elephant form. Like, if you've seen One Piece, he's like Jack type of like, or like that, or Zoe. He was like that big. He was massive. And so we get him out of that form, and now he's just normal Ivan the Terrible. And now we go see the cryptor, like us, me and Mash, or not me, the main character. Excuse me. I have him set to my name, so like it's just me playing the game basically. So it gets confusing a little bit. But the main character, Mash, we go see Ivan, or we go see the cryptor. We fight him, and then we go see Ivan the Terrible, giving him his last rites, fighting him as a warrior, and then killing him. Trying to find our reason as to like, is what we're doing right? Because before we've always known that we're the good guys because this isn't supposed to be here. But now it's like we're literally destroying complete and entire worlds because ours isn't like in existence basically. But these are people, these are real people. So it's trying to find that answer of like, oh, is what we're doing right? What are we? Who are the good guys in this? And are we even the good guys anymore? It's interesting honestly because it adds nuance a little bit to what we're doing, and it's sick. It's dope. But yeah, after all that, we find out that Kirei is Rasputin. Ivan the Terrible's dead. Um, we fight the cryptor. We we basically shadow ban her, or his servant. Anastasia's gone, and we kidnap the cryptor basically. Or actually, Billy shoots him. That's the scene I was trying to get to. Billy shoots the cryptor, and he's like, "I told you not to move or do anything hasty." It was such a sick scene. Like, Billy, for being a 3-star, he's so dope. He's so dope. Beowulf was sick as well. And yeah, now we're getting to the end of it. For after like all that crazy stuff going on, some really sad scenes happening with Solari and I forgot the name of the people, but the Wolfkin basically. And it was sad honestly because they don't know what music is. They never had instruments, and so Solari being a musician like Mozart, he was showing all of them like, hey, this is what music is. Let's enjoy our last days together. as servant and people. And it was so sad. It was so dope though. And now we're going on to the next what's it called, Lost Belt, Golden Damaron. And man, like I basically skimmed through it. There's a lot more to this. Like, I mean, a lot more. Like, I didn't even mention Koyaskaya or Kirei as much as I should have, or Solari and Mozart's relationship, or Adelante, Alter, Billy, Beowulf, Paxi, and all his stuff. Paxi is dead, by the way. I didn't mention anything of his story except for the beginning. Like, there is so much more to go over in Lost Belt 1. Like, Lost Belt. Alright, okay. It's a lot. Like, it's really a lot compared to the singularities, pseudo singularities, and everything of the sort, events, anything. Like, Lost Belt 1 is all story basically. Like, if I had to compare it, Lost Belt 1 would be like if you mix Guilty Gear story with like fighting game stories where you have battles in it. Lost Belt 1 has battles, but they aren't like battles just for the sake of gameplay. They're battles because they happen. And some people like it, some people don't. One of my friends who played through it, he's like, yeah, it's good because it focuses the story a lot more, but it also means that if I have to play the story, I I have to literally sit there and read. It is such a commitment, and I understood that completely. I love the reading in this game. I think it's so fire because it makes me invested into the story and the characters and like seeing how important they are, how evil they are, what they do, what they mean. So I enjoyed it, but other people wouldn't, and I can understand why because at some points it can really get overwhelming. Like, okay, can I play the game? Can I like can I do something? Like, so it really is crazy. Like they focus the story, but it can have its drawbacks too, right? Because before it used to be, oh wow, 16 battles in one section, amazing. I'm not gonna be doing anything, and they're gonna be tough battles too. Awesome. Where instead it's like, oh, 2 to 3 battles, maybe one battle with a bunch of talking. Okay, but like it's honestly it's your preference, right? Like it's what you prefer in storytelling, whether you want it to be, or in games and storytelling. Do you want it to be more interactive, or do you want it to be like more on the visual novel side, where you play a little but you don't play a lot? It's honest. It's so sick. Like I love what they did. It had me so engaged with the story. And like I said, the story I only skimmed through. I didn't do everything in it. Like, well, no. I in this video I skimmed through it. I did everything in the story. It's fire. It's so fire. And if you play the game and you haven't done Lost Boats, I highly recommend it. Honestly, like at first I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the sub singularities first, but now it's like, I think I'm gonna have to do the sub singularities in between because like Lost Boats are so long. So next time I'm gonna talk about something else. I'll explain at the end of the video. But yeah, Lost Boat 1, it's long. It is super long. Like compared to Babylonia and Camelot, which were the longest parts of the first record, the main record. Lost Boat 1 blows it out of the water with how long it is. And not in like sections, but literally in how long the missions are. Like Lost Boat 1 is a good 6 to 8 hours worth of content. In a mobile game no less. Like it's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me how much story there is in this mobile game. And I love it. It's so fire. Like it's making me invested into a mobile game instead of like something like Heroes where it's like a couple lines of text and then you battle. Which I like playing Heroes, but the story isn't investing. Like it isn't gripping me as much as it should. But yeah, like Hospital 1, I enjoyed it. I loved it so much. And the prologue, it really set up like, oh wow, this is like this is different. This is way different compared to like the first half. In the first half, like it was good, but this is like it's already showing promise. Like this is gonna be crazy. So like get your seatbelt on and everything. But yeah, if I had to say it, Lost Boat 1, it's a 8, a solid 8. It is so good. It is long, and it can sometimes be overwhelming. No, not a lot of gameplay. Some characters are just like, oh okay. But Lost Belt 1, it is a great introduction. Compared to Orleans or Fuyuki, it blows them out of the water completely. Lost Belt 1 is amazing. I love it. And I'm so excited to do Lost Belt 2 and onward. Like I recommend it so much. And next video, you would think I'll be talking about Lost Belt 2, but I'm not. I'm gonna be talking about Agartha, which is a sub-singularity in main record 1.5. So I'll hopefully be on the lookout for that coming out soon. Hopefully. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This was me talking about Lost Belt 1. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't played it or if you haven't at least like looked it up or watched it or anything, I recommend it so much. It's so good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys stay safe during the holidays or safe in general. And yeah, it's been Infamous Isaac. I'll check y'all out. Peace.